Chapter 41. Dissections. Blue. We're doing dissections today, so we're going to see if any of you actually studied those handouts I gave you.
There's something in me that goes cold at that. That's why it smells like death in here. The people in class shuffle around me, some eager and some annoyed at the impromptu nature of this project. There are groans, but no one's miffed enough to say anything more. Instead, they all start milling about their stations, getting ready for the assignment or ordering their familiars to get their things. I don't like being in here without my master. I don't really have orders except to go and put his stuff down for class, so I suppose I should be doing that. The caustic smell of chemicals is too potent to be ignored, but I try to choke it down. I do my best not to seem affected by what's happening here. I doubt there will be any pleasant interference should I react badly. I don't see Tula anywhere, but I can't expect her to cover for me every time. I lock my knees and move until I'm over by the desk Master let me pick out and put down his bag. I slip to my knees once I'm behind the table, and I just let my head rest against the wood. I should start taking out his things or arranging the vials. Even if I'm just moving the stuff one side of the desk to the other, it's better than being seen doing nothing. Even still, I can't find it in me to move. It takes too much effort to do more than turn my head so I can observe the person on the other end of the room ordering their dog around. They seem excited. I wish I could share the sentiment. I wonder how the familiar is doing that, staying still, being obedient. Dogs are supposed to have a better sense of smell. How the hell are they still functional? Maybe that's the difference between us. I'm too weak to ignore little things and carry through with my master's wishes. I shouldn't be here. I simply don't measure up. Master deserves someone who'd be able to give him their best. It's not me. I try to summon up my resolve, but all I manage to do is churn my stomach into knots. I'm not ready to be so close to a cadaver. It's stupid, and I should be able to handle myself better than this. But I can't make myself get up and do something useful. I can't even find the strength to pull my head from the desk. I can only get away with being idle for so long, but my actions don't look too suspicious. I'm just kneeling, waiting for my master. Definitely not hiding, or letting the table in front of me take my weight because I'm not sure I can support it myself. People are shuffling around, but it's getting harder to focus on them. All the sound and movement blends together in one massive cacophony, and I have to shut my eyes against another bout of nausea. It's too cold in this room. Everything's turned so clinical that my mind is scrambling. The chemicals, the bodies. It's just all too much. I should clean the tools. I should get Master's stuff ready. I should try to stay valuable while he'll still have me. I should be able to do this. I lever my weight up until I'm standing. I'm still mostly supported by the table, but if anyone's looking that close, then I'm screwed anyways. I start with the glass beakers. They are larger and have grips on them, and won't show my hands shaking that badly. Stars, how did I get here? I'm not capable of ignoring the larger metallic implements, those used for sawing through bone, and the smaller, finer scalpels that some of my more adventurous owners have dabbled with before. I quash down a thought before it can grow any further. I'm not unique in this. Plenty of other familiars have a history, and they are doing just fine, assisting their master and earning their place. Maybe that's what's so wrong about all this. I've been taunted with this fate as a punishment before. Guards or guests all saying that they could always just sell me on as a body for the labs if I'm not useful for anything else. I was always just a little too valuable for this, just the smallest fraction away from this fate. The labs don't care if your face is bruised. They don't need looks to use your body. The last beaker almost slips from my hand at the memory. It's the natural end for most pleasure slaves. You get too damaged or weak or just plain old, and they always have the option to sell you on to the labs. Master saved me from that fate. Whatever he saw in me that day got me away before the medical institute decided they needed more bodies for their students.
Blue?
I nearly jump at my master's voice. I didn't hear him come in, but I suppose I was in my own little world. There are people still moving around, so I doubt class has actually started without him.
Master, we're doing dissections today?
I try to smile, but even I feel the shakiness of the gesture. I blink away the wetness in my eyes, hoping to the stars that he hasn't noticed.
Yeah, Blue, that's what Shauna was trying to tell me.
He speaks softly, and I just turn back to my washing.
Oh, good,
I reply, to say something if nothing else. Master's not calling me out on my blatant misbehaviors, but he isn't blind to them. He usually likes a verbal response.
Blue, are you all right?
Master's voice cuts through my attempts to conceal my state of mind.
Yes, Master,
I respond with as level a tone as I can manage. Master's hands come around me to remove the beaker from my hands, and I can't stop the way I lean into the solid shape of his body. I feel the fight drain from me before it even fully formed, and I just lean into him for a moment, soaking in his warmth.
I'm functional,
I promise. It's not much, but it's better than nothing.
All right, I'll go get the stuff. You just get sorted, okay?
He whispers down to me, giving me a few more seconds of contact before he breaks away.
Only 2 other owners go up with him. Most of the others send their familiars to get the samples, and I can't help but feel a little guilty. I couldn't do that, so my master's doing it for me.
I pull myself together in the time it takes him to come back. I don't like the way my emotions are spiraling. I want to be stable, reliable. I should be doing this. I should be helping him. I should be doing these things for him. The other familiars are handling this for their masters. It isn't affecting them, and some part of me is screaming about how unfair that is. I go over the remaining supplies with trembling hands. It's not much, but I'm set on doing something useful, even if it's just sanitizing the tools. My hands shake when I see the sharp metal edges, but I just shove it down with the rest of what I'm feeling. Don't cry. Don't fuck up. Master may be kind in private, but if you fuck up this badly in public, he wouldn't have a choice. The squeak of the wheels as the specimens are divided is too loud, and no matter what I do, the sound echoes across the inside of my mind until Master is back at the table and there's a cadaver in front of us. The smell is so much worse up close. It takes a physical effort not to recoil.
Here, Blue, let me help you with that.
Master speaks softly, approaching me, slow, like I might lash out at him. He takes the things I'm washing from my trembling hands. I can't fault him any longer, and I'm sure I would have cut myself on some of the finer implements. It has the negative side effect of removing the one thing that I was doing to aid my master, though. I stare at the figure obscured by the white length of cloth. There's a toe tag peeking out from under the bottom, but I force my eyes away from it. It seems obscene, or perhaps just too intimate. I don't think the information on the tag could measure up to the life they lived, even if it was just short and miserable. I wonder if they died naturally, if they had a good life, or if they were bred for this or something similar. Labs require bodies all the time. Sometimes they need them alive. Maybe this was a reject, the effect of a bad experiment. It could be anything, really. Sooner than I'd like, the entire class is assembled, and the assignment is laid out in finer detail now that everyone has their bodies and are somewhat orderly. I wish I could listen, but whatever's being said right now is just going over my head. I'm shaking. I know that, and it's shameful, but there's nothing I can do to stop. I keep my head down and my arms pressed to my sides. I just need to make it through this. I just need to see this out. I can be well behaved. I won't do anything I'm not told to do. I'll help my master,
and then we'll go home and I'll do whatever I can to convince him to hold me again. None of the other familiars are shaky messes. I need to be good. I need to be useful. Master puts the tray of implements down in front of me, jarring me out of my daze. "Blue, are you okay?" he whispers, and I almost flinch away from the gentle tone.
"Yes, Master, what can I do for you?"
I can't summon a smile, but I do incline my head, trying to give him the respect he deserves, as I can't seem to provide anything else. The others are already assisting their masters. Most of the masters have put them to work, cracking the chest open. The crude, wet crunches filling the room are enough to make me certain I'm going to pass out. "Here, I need you to pass me things when I ask, okay?" He smiles down at me, and for once I can see the frailty of it. He's giving me the easiest job. I don't have to touch anything. I don't need to remember anything. I just have to hand him things and let him do the work. I don't trust my voice, so I just give a quick nod, which he seems to accept. He pulls back the cloth, and immediately I wish he hadn't. Everyone keeps working at their own tables, and that is the only proof I have that I didn't scream out loud. Master says something, but I can't make out the words. I know that face, even scarred as it is. I know the body on the table.